Welcome. This is Udum Maths. Today I want us to look at graph of quadratic equation, and this is a subtopic under graph of quadratic equation or relation. We are going to talk about increasing or decreasing values of quadratic graph. Okay. Now, when we talk of increasing and decreasing values, that is, let me take this as my mountain. If I move from here, coming to this point, then it means I am increasing in height. Let's assume God is somewhere here and you want to touch God. So you need to walk to this point before you can touch God. Without that, you cannot. And then when you move this direction, then it means you are decreasing in height. So increasing and then decreasing. Okay, before then, let's talk about equation of line of symmetry. Equation of line of symmetry. When you talk of equation of line of symmetry, before then, equation of line of symmetry or line of symmetry is a line that divides a plane figure into two equal parts. So this figure drawn here, this line is dividing that into two equal parts. So the equation of line of symmetry is x equals b because it is passing through the x-axis at b. So that is why it is x equals b. Okay. Then maximum value. So the maximum value is, I said, the moment you are here, you can touch God. So when you are here, then you are at the maximum point of the graph. So the maximum value talks about the y value on the graph. So at that point, what is the y value? That is d, because we can all see that this link to the point. Okay, so the maximum value is y equals d. Then again, our maximum point. So the maximum point talks about the point at which the graph is at its peak. Excuse me. Then, and the point 2 consists of the x component and y component. So the maximum point becomes the x component, that is b, and then y component, that is d. So that is also b and then d. So that is that. Now, for the increasing and decreasing, the question normally says, states the range of values of x. States the range of values of x for which y is y or the graph is increasing. So the graph increases from this point to this point and decreases from this point to this point. But on the x-axis, that is the value of x. So the range of x, from which x to which x is the graph increasing. So that is from a inclusive to b exclusive. So we say that the answer is a less or equal to x less than b, because at this point it is neither increasing nor decreasing. At this point, okay. Then we can also write the answer as, from this side to b, the values here are less than b. So we say that x is less than b. That is also an answer to this question. Then let's look at the range of values of x for which the graph or y is decreasing. So for decreasing, we start from this point, then we come down. Okay, so we say that from b exclusive to c inclusive. So that is going to be b less than x less or equal to c. You can also rewrite this as b is greater than, b is less than c, because these values here before c are all less than c. So that is that. Okay, so the question is, we have to state the range of values of x for which x is increasing, and then after we look at where x is decreasing. We can as well use the table to get those questions answered, but the question normally says use your graph. So let's look at the table before we go to the graph. Okay, so from the table we can see that x is increasing from this point, 0, 1, 1.5, 2, 3, 4. So x is increasing from this point. And then So this is the x value, but we are to concentrate on y. So y increases from 0 to between 0 and then 0 here. Y is so the question normally says state or find the range of values of x for which y or the graph is increasing and then decreasing. So the graph is increasing from this point to this point and decreasing from this point to this point. But stating the values, we include this and exclude this one. Then again, for the decreasing, we exclude this and include this one. So from here to here exclusive, then from here exclusive to this point inclusive. So let's go to the graph and look at what I've just said here. So from our graph, we see that y is increasing from where the y value is -6 to where we have the y value to be 6.4. Then decreasing from where we have, this is the 6.4. So 6.4. Decreasing from 6.4 to where we have the y value to be -6. Okay. Now, the range of values of x for which y is increasing. Y increases from, on the x values, from -2 to 1.5. So the range of values of x becomes, we write it, the range of values for which x is increasing. That is going to be -2 less or equal to x less than 1.5. That is increasing. And then decreasing. That is also from 1.5 less than x less or equal to where we have the 5. Okay. So this is also decreasing. Okay, so since we are done with the table, the question normally asks of us using the graph. So let's use the graph. So the range of values of x for which y or the graph is increasing. So y is increasing from this point, that is y value of -6 to y value of 6.4. But we are not going to report that because the question says the range of values of x. So it means we need x values. Okay, so the x value that makes this graph increases is from -2 to 1.5. So we say that, and then the one that normally makes the graph decreases is also from 1.5 here to 5. Okay. So therefore, the range of values of x for which y or the graph is increasing is -2 less or equal to x less than 1.5. Or you can write any of them. Or x is less than 1.5. X is less than 1.5. Then let's look at the range of values of x for which y or the graph is decreasing. So in that sense too, we said x decreases from 1.5, which is non-parts. Then this one is parts, to 5. We can also use this, the x values that are greater than 1.5. So we say that x is greater than 1.5 because from 1.5 upwards, the graph starts decreasing or reduces its heights. Okay. So next time when a question of this nature is given you, I hope you can be able to write the answer. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for watching.